In February, our 11 Investigates team brought you a 3-night series on the 1960 murder of a Paulding girl. Since that time, a possible murder weapon we discovered was examined by investigators. But now, there could possibly be another break in the case, again, because of a tip our team received. Lead investigative reporter Brian Duggar has the update tonight.
About a week ago, a woman living in Texas reached out to us with a horrific story of alleged abuse. Abuse that she says began in 1956 when she was living in Paulding, Ohio. She had seen our series in February and wondered if her attacker could be the same man who killed Nancy Eagleson in 1960. And the man she told us about, his name was already on our radar from another tip we had received months ago.
When you think about him possibly being involved in Nancy's case, would you believe that's a possibility based on what you know about him?
Yes, I do. Definitely do.
For more than 60 years, investigators have tried to answer the question, who killed Nancy Eagleson? The mystery still hangs over the village of Paulding. Stories and theories still passed down through generations. The 14-year-old girl was walking home from the movies on a warm fall day in 1960 with her younger sister Cheryl. A man approached them, grabbed Nancy, then threw her in the back seat of his car.
Threw her in the back seat, and then he's in here like this. And I couldn't see what he was doing, so I jumped on his back, and he just went like this and pushed me to the ground.
So when I fell back on the ground, I just realized that this is a bad man. This is not a good man.
Hours later, Nancy was found dead, shot twice. She was sexually assaulted. Her body was discovered in what is now called Nancy's Woods. It's a secluded area, but an area that's well known to locals. Over the years, the suspect list has grown, and now there's a new addition.
It was getting close to dark.
Over a 2-year period, beginning when she was 6 years old, Cindy Geyer Keefe says one man destroyed her childhood, Claire Bud Paulus, a former Paulding County Sheriff's deputy. The Geyer and Paulus families were close. The wedding photo of Cindy's parents has Virginia Paulus, Bud's wife, standing to the bride's right. Now, 11 Investigates can confirm that after our series aired in February, the Sheriff's Department received what it considered a credible tip about Bud Paulus in relation to the Nancy Eagleson case. Now, prior to that, Bud had not been considered any type of suspect in this case, but that tip continues to be investigated. Now, we have not previously named him, and we can tell you that Cindy reached out to us not knowing that we already had information about the same man.
I remember him cuffing me, cuffing my hands, and pulling me from the main door that goes into their house, pulling me by those cuffs, by my hands, and pulling me kind of backwards, and pushed me into the back seat of a car.
She says he took her to the jail. Then, she says, she was sexually assaulted.
And then I remember being locked in the jail at this specific time, this one time. And he was holding a gun to my head.
On November 6, 1987, Paulus was indicted by a Paulding County grand jury, accused of abusing another girl. A record of that indictment doesn't exist, but the sheriff's office and former prosecutor John Webb confirmed to us that it did happen. Paulus then killed himself, shooting himself in the chest with a .38 caliber handgun. No police record exists of that incident either, but 11 Investigates was able to obtain the coroner's report. And this isn't unusual. Over the years, missing evidence has continued to stymie the Eagleson investigation. Blood, hair, clothing, and semen evidence, it's all disappeared.
Obviously something happened to it at some point, well before my career here. And You know, and again, in this case, it's unfortunate because there was great evidence, I believe, at that time that would have brought a resolution to this case, again, probably before I started my career here.
Paulus's wife, Virginia, is now 98 years old.
And that's why I wanted to.
We attempted to talk to her, but she closed the door on us when we mentioned allegations against her husband. She still lives in the same home in which Cindy says she was allegedly assaulted, abuse that Cindy says changed her life forever.
It destroyed my personality. It destroyed every bit of my being, really. It made it hard for me to trust anybody.
Cindy's brother Greg confirmed the siblings spent many days at Paulus's home, and he also talked about how uneasy he felt around the man. Sheriff Landers told me he can't speak publicly about suspects or witnesses, but he wanted people to know that he continues to receive tips about the Eagleson murder, and he continues to investigate several of them. Now, if you have a tip, you can call the sheriff at 419-399-3791, or you can reach me at 419-248-1153. Reporting in studio, this is Brian Duggar for WTUL 11.